This broadcast is brought to you in part by Right Way Driving School. If you want your child to learn to drive the correct way, then there is only one way, the right way. Right Way Driving School, where safety is always our number one concern.
Hello, Wayne Hills. I'm Matt Ferrara, and today I have the pleasure of being joined by two Wayne Hills alumni, Amanda Wadoniak and Valerie Shields. Two very important girls in their industry, so we're going to talk to them first about what their high school experiences were like. So, first question is, what were your high school's experience like, and how did they shape you for where you are today in terms of career?
Val, do you want to go first? Sure. I really enjoyed high school. I graduated in 2002. I was involved with a lot of things here, and I think it prepared me well for college, where I continued to be involved with a lot of things.
And Amanda, I know you were involved in the TV class here.
I was.
So do you think that really shaped for where you ended up?
Definitely. I mean, I remember taking TV starting from freshman year until senior year, and I loved it. And just like Val, part of lots of clubs, and just managing my time and managing all the other fun activities I was doing really helped me with what I do now.
That's incredible. So what is it like working for a more modern media source like BuzzFeed as opposed to like a typical news station or what a lot of these kids end up doing?
It's really, really fun. It's very fast paced. Unlike television, which takes a lot longer, and film that takes even longer than that. Film might take years to create and finally get on the screen. Television show might take weeks or months before you finally see the final product on TV. And with internet projects and videos, we can see them within a matter of a couple of days or weeks, and it's very, very quick turnaround. And if you kind of don't have a great success rate on the first one, it's fine, because you just work on the next one.
So could you guys just give us like a quick brief description of like what your current job is, your title? I know you work for the Yankees and you're working at BuzzFeed, but what is your actual title and like job?
My official title is branded producer, and I basically start a project from treatment, and I get it through execution and delivery to our client. And I was saying to my younger niece that it's basically putting a puzzle piece together. You know, I work with the director and writer and kind of create their vision, you know, helping find the right crew that would fit this project, the right locations, hair, makeup, casting. And once we have all that, getting the production rolling. Once we're in production, I kind of just let everyone take over and the director take over, and I give input, but he or she leads the set. And then once that's done, get it through post-production and give notes to our editors and work with our clients to make sure that they're getting what they want. And then we deliver it, and then we work on the next one.
That's awesome. And Valerie?
So I work for the New York Yankees. I am the manager of strategic business ventures. So I work on all of the mass communication that goes out to season ticket licensees and to fans, and also on the different benefits and experiences for season ticket licensees and fans. So creating events and programs, that sort of thing.
It's very cool. Now, I saw that you went to Rhode Island, what was it?
University of Rhode Island.
University of Rhode Island. And I was wondering, since you're working for a business venture in New York City like the Yankees, was there like a buffer period of going from Rhode Island to New York and finding work, or was it like you jumped right in? Because I know a lot of people say it's better to be in New York for the business world, so you like right into it. Did you find like a time period where it was harder to find a job?
No, I actually got my first job a month before I graduated college. So when I was in school, I did two minor league baseball internships, and then a month before I graduated, I got hired by the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays. So I moved to Florida. But no, Rhode Island was great. I think it prepared me really well.
That's awesome. So both of you, now that we're talking about college, what was your favorite and least favorite parts of college?
Ooh. I'll say that in college, like in high school, you kind of have a lot of support from your teachers, and they kind of help steer which way you're supposed to be doing your projects and papers, and help educate you and help work on it with you. In college, that was my least or most difficult thing to get adjusted to. They were like, no, you have to figure it out yourself.
Wow.
You're an adult. Like, write the paper, and if it's not the right way, then you don't have the higher score or grade. And that was a big adjustment for me. But it was really fun, and I think, like I said, my favorite part would have been hanging out with, like, meeting a lot of people, meeting people from different backgrounds, different cities, who had different interests, because you're in college, so not everyone is there for the exact same reason.
You went to Boston University, right?
I did.
Did you enjoy like the television production or film program there? Was it?
No, it was, yes, I did. I loved it, but I will say that the theory classes might have not prepared me as well as I wish they had. Probably would have taken more business classes to learn budgeting and those types of skills versus, you know, watching Rosemary's Baby way too many times and reanalyzing it from different angles.
Well, do you feel that for like a school like that, when you're going for film, is it more about the education that you're getting, or you as an individual with your work ethic?
I think it's the work ethic and the people that you meet through that school, because you rise together with them. We're all students and we all start growing into different positions. So the friends that you make there might help you in the future. So make as many as you can.
Of course. And Val, what was your favorite and least favorite part of college?
My least favorite was probably group projects. I hated working on group projects. My favorite were snow days, because unlike high school or like when you're younger and there's a snow day, you can't really go anywhere. When there's a snow day in college, you're living with all of your friends, so you get to like do snow fun games and eat together, and it's
especially
like
in Rhode Island.
Exactly.
And your first day out of college, what was that like? I know you said you already were working. What about you? Did you guys have like a relaxation period? Did you want to travel the world for a year, or did you get right into it?
I remember very vividly playing Alice Cooper, School's Out for Summer, and thinking I'm not going back to school for a while.
It's a weird thought, right?
I was just so happy. I loved school, but I was ready to work. And I came back. I went back to Sunrise Bagels, worked for a little bit, and then started my career and moved to California and started working immediately. Within 2 weeks, I found my first job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and you said you worked for, who would you work for before the Yankees?
The Tampa Bay Rays.
And what was it like, the difference between working with them and the Yankees? I mean, my personal favorite baseball team is the Yankees, because, you know, I'm a New Yorker. But what is it like to juxtapose those two teams?
It was actually really interesting for me, because when I started with the Rays, they were the Devil Rays, so you know they had only been around maybe 10 years. So they were really building their brand and building their history. And then you go from that to a team like the Yankees, who, you know,
forever
pride themselves on their legacy
It's
and
an
their
empire.
tradition. And so it was really cool to kind of see how the two different businesses were run.
And does your job require you to do much more office work, or do you find yourself in most of the games?
So my office is Yankee Stadium.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I go to Yankee Stadium every day,
That's
and then
awesome.
we work all of the games as well.
That's so cool. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with Amanda and Val, so stay tuned to the Student Voice.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Tri-County Irrigation. From service to installation, we will take care of all your irrigation needs. Remember, a green lawn is a healthy lawn. For more information, you can call 973-696-0121.
And we're back with the Student Voice. Once again, I'm Matt Ferrara, talking with two very interesting former Wayne Hill students, Amanda and Val. So one thing I want to ask, because I'm personally a senior, what advice would you give to the current Wayne Hill seniors that are going to be freshmen next year in college? What would you say the most important part of college is? One tip.
Ooh. Go ahead, Val. You first.
I would say never say no. You're not too good to do anything. So, you know, if someone asks for help or, you know, can you volunteer to do this, don't say no.
Yeah, you'll never know who you're going to meet and what experiences you're going to have, and some are going to be good and some are going to be bad, but take them, because even with the bad ones, you'll learn from them. So that's a really good tip. I guess I would say that, and meet as many people as you can, because everyone is going to try to help each other, and the more
Networking.
friends you have. Networking's great. Like, it really does help a lot.
So in terms of post-college life, I saw that you've worked on like some interesting projects. Like I saw on your IMDb page that you were working on like the Walking Dead video game. How did you get involved in interesting things like that, as opposed to like what you initially went for school for, like TV production stuff?
I think it's all related to each other.
All really in the same realm?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school between, you know, Wayne Hills and Boston University. I was always taking film and television classes. And then the company that I worked for in California, one of the first companies I worked with, they were a production and management company. So we got to be involved with a lot of different clients, whether they were comedians or more professional actors, and different people that we represented worked in different shows and videos and movies and everything. So we got to work with them. Greg Nicotero was one of our clients, and he executive produces The Walking Dead. So we actually did the web series with him, which was super duper fun, working with zombies. And it was fun once you finally had it done, and then the credits and everything. And it's not the same as television, but they were promoting it there. And it was really cool to be done with the project and be like, hey, my name is on a video and it's scrolling.
That's awesome.
And it's a little bit different with commercials, because there are no credits in commercials.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least you put all those things together and you have a really nice reel. But you kind of never knew what project you were going to have next, because all our clients were so different, whether it was comedy or drama or anything like that. And then random people wanted to work with the company, so you don't know who's going to walk in the door and what project was next.
That's awesome. Do you like LA?
I love it.
Really?
I don't like it. I love it.
So you're not coming back?
No. I mean, I'll come back to visit because I love being home and with
Yeah.
friends and family. But I remember my friends thought, you really blossomed when you went to California and you found your voice and you found your style and you found your stride. And it's not for everybody, and it's a lot of hard work.
Definitely.
But if you really want to do it, and if there's nothing else you can imagine doing, if you're like, this is what I want to do, if someone asks, is there something, a different field you could get into, maybe consider that field. Maybe not, but it is not the easiest production to get involved in, or field to get involved with.
Cool. And Val, did you ever think about pursuing a career in TV? Because I know you're on the Wall of Fame in this class. I probably won't make it. But,
I wasn't very good.
Hey, you made the Wall of Fame, and Hook Straight made it pretty clear that I will not be on that list because I'm very lazy. But did you ever have any thoughts or no?
I think I always knew I wanted to work in baseball. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in baseball, but probably I don't think I was talented enough to do the TV production route. It wasn't my thing. I had a lot of help in high school.
Yeah. Well, Hook Straight made it very clear that because of my laziness, I will not make that wall, but you guys are lucky enough to.
We weren't executive producers in high school.
I know. Apparently, that doesn't mean anything to Hook Straight. I'm just not going to do anything.
We'll put in a
the
good
first
word
2
for
years,
you.
I was
Yeah.
lazy.
We'll talk
Now,
to him.
you guys
We'll
should
talk to him.
put in a good
I'm
word.
on that wall, and I was surprised. Someone put my name up there.
I'll be honest. Maybe like sophomore year, I was a little lazy, but now it's just like I'm getting where I'm an executive
Full
producer.
steam ahead.
Exactly. Similarly, what I asked Amanda, what do you like? Do you like working in New York, or is it like the hustle and bustle too much sometimes, or like?
No, I love it. So I work in the Bronx, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of removed from the chaos that is Manhattan.
Yeah.
But even on a bad day, I get to walk outside and look at Yankee Stadium, and how many people can say that?
That's incredible. So what is next for you guys after, I'm not saying you should leave your jobs, but I know people like to look ahead in the future, and you guys seem to be very ambitious girls. Do you have any future goals that you'd like to try to get over or no?
Yeah, I mean, right now, like I said, the digital field is really interesting and it's really fast paced. So I feel like the more advanced we become in that field, I mean, when I started working on web series and everything, there were no unions. People were kind of still really iffy about joining. It was kind of a wild, wild west. There weren't as many rules. Now there are. So I'm really interested in seeing where that goes, and just as more companies invest in that, in the internet, and give more money to their projects and videos and everything, I just want to work on bigger
Is that a route
projects.
you want to stay on, or did you ever think about trying to get into the LA studio system and working in feature films? Or?
I've done some of that stuff, and I love it too. It's great. But the immediacy and the fact that you can share a video like that, like I can send it to you on your phone or email or anything like that, which you can't do on films and television. And don't get me wrong, when I was in college, I thought, oh, anything underneath film or television is like, subpar.
Yeah.
But I mean, as that field grows, more people are invested in it, more companies are invested in it, and it's such a fast place that people want to be there. They want their videos shared. They want people to see. We worked on a video at our company, and it's not like a surprise when it hits 1 million hits.
Wow.
Or one of our projects had 17 million views in one day.
That's
like
nuts.
It's a big deal too. It's growing.
It's
for sure.
definitely very different because it's really just taken the whole industry by storm. Because think about things like Netflix and all these streaming websites. They're literally destroying the industry as a whole with television and movies and stuff like that. I'd be surprised if Netflix starts doing news or something. Literally, news networks would be useless.
Exactly. I mean, it's a growing environment, and I would love to stay involved in that. Netflix would be super cool. Amazon.
Yeah.
All those
everything. There's just so many are popping up out
you
of
can
nowhere
go
and they make great
anywhere.
work. And what about you, Val? What's next for you?
I think I'm going to stay with the Yankees
You're
hopefully for
content with
a
the
little
Yankees?
while.
If I were you, I would stay with the Yankees.
It's an
You don't want to
exciting
go to the
time
Red
to
Sox
be
or
there.
anything.
You know, the core four is gone. It's just, I think it's just really exciting. You should see what happens.
And this is the last question I have for both of you. You both work in awesome industries, so I'm assuming you meet very cool people and have very cool experiences. What is the most cool celebrity, whatever experience you guys have ever had? The coolest person you've met, the coolest experience you've ever had? Have you ever met Derek Jeter? Anything there?
I've been at events, he's helped
Yeah.
us with events. I would say the coolest thing that I've been a part of. I was in the press box for Game 7 of the 2008 ALCS when the Rays beat the Red Sox to go to the World Series. That was awesome. I was at Jorge Posada's retirement press conference. He is my all-time favorite Yankees player. So to be there working for the Yankees and watching him retire was unbelievable. And then Jeter's last home game.
That must have been sad, actually.
Jeter's last home game?
Yeah, I cried.
I cried like the whole, probably from like the All-Star break leading up to the last game, but when he got that hit, it was like they won the World Series. Like you couldn't even be sad anymore because it was so unbelievable.
I had friends that don't even like baseball, and they were watching it with me and teared up because it's just like, he's a part of the legend of the Yankees, and he's really been there forever, like longer than I've been alive. So it's just really crazy to see him go like that.
Yeah, it was wild.
And what about you? Anything crazy?
Oh, crazy.
I see that you work with like Pat and Oswald and some of those guys.
I did. Yeah, they're fun. I mean, it was really cool when one of my friends asked me to help photograph and work on a little project that he was working on and in the kitchen after work hours. And Patton was one of our clients, and Robin Williams came in, and some executives from The Simpsons came in, and we did this really cute little sketch in the kitchen. Like no money, no one got paid. We shot it. It was really fun. But I also do concerts, and I produce those, like Jingle Ball.
That's awesome.
In LA, though. And you kind of randomly bump into people in the hallway, and that's always fun, just like shooting. And I'm a field producer on those, so you just kind of walk up to people and say, hey, you know, are you guys having fun, da-da-da, and their reactions can be super crazy and fun, majority of the time.
Yeah.
So those are always cool, and like, you never know what you'll get into in LA. Personally, like, I got into an Uber the other week and was going downtown, and I pooled with some stranger and ended up backstage meeting Coldplay. Like, you never know what you're gonna get into. Just keep your mind open and be friendly and kind to everybody, because what you put out is what you get back.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Two very special people who have roamed the very halls that we are at now. So just be inspired, Hills. That's all the time we have. But coming up next, Veronica Gail will be interviewing another former student, Gabby Ewing.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Positano Pizza, the finest Italian cuisine and pizzeria. Show us your Wayne Hills student ID to get 2 slices of pizza or a bowl of pasta, plus a drink for only $5.
Hello, Wayne Hills. I'm Veronica Gail, and I'm talking to former Wayne Hills student Gabby Ewing. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem. So why did you want to be in the film industry to begin with?
Well, it really all started in high school when they tell you to, hey, like, think about what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. And I was like, whoa. And I was in Huggs' film classes all 4 years, and I asked myself my senior year, what can I see myself doing for the rest of my life? And really nothing else piqued my interest like film and television. And like back then, you know, like the internet was like a huge thing. Obviously, I graduated in 2011, but it wasn't as big like video streaming as it is now. So as I graduated, the film and television like and new media industry has just gotten bigger. So I've never wondered like, ooh, am I going to lose my job or anything like that? So I think it was a great decision. I love it. I wake up every day excited about it. So that's what I wanted to do.
That's good. They say you never work a day if you love what you do. So.
Yeah, it's awesome.
How was the transition from high school where there are only like a couple kids in the TV program as into like NYU, because that's where you went to college, where there's like a bunch of people all trying to get into the industry?
Very weird. So I was at Tisch for film and television, and it's just all kids. And you know, at Hills, I was the only one who was really like watching documentaries or like interested in anything like that. And so I would kind of make like jokes and references, and no one would get it. And I was also one of like the only girls in the class. But at Tisch, it's still very male heavy. But there were just so many more people who were like interested in cinematography and all this kind of stuff, and it was a little overwhelming because you almost feel like you're not unique anymore because there's so many people pursuing the same degree. But then you just find your little niche and you realize that you're all a team. Like everyone I graduated with are doing different things, and I call them, oh, do you know a sound designer? Do you know a colorist? All this stuff. So it's really intimidating at first, and then encouraging and empowering.
What were your first jobs coming out of high school?
So my summer year, so this is now 2012, summer year of
after freshman year, I came back and worked with a small production company, and I got a grant to work with them for my scholarship called BitCon Productions. I don't know if that name rings a bell. She's a Wayne Hill student, but and I was doing wedding videos, which in the industry is just it's bad. Like, no one wants to end up doing wedding videos unless you're just really passionate about it. So I was editing wedding videos and shooting weddings and christenings and all that kind of stuff. Learned a lot of good skills, learned a lot of industry standards, and then I interned at another small production company doing like straight to TV documentaries called Storeville Films in New York. That was unpaid. And then once you get that first internship, you're able to use that as a negotiating piece and start building your resume. So then I was at NBC, Universal, 30 Rock for 3 semesters with a really old journalist who you probably don't know, Gabe Pressman. And then I went to The Desk, which is like the desk that you see in all the movies and stuff. And then I went to with their investigative team. So that was more like long form stuff. And then I finally was able to get to CNN's documentary unit, which had just started, and it was really awesome to be working with all of them, because it was more in tune with what I wanted to do with not truthful storytelling, but authentic stories in documentary style. And then I graduated and got a job.
That's good. So that all happened in college?
Yes. So one of the challenges that I faced was that the internship coordinator, we had this rule at NYU that if you're a junior, unless you're a junior, you can't get a paid internship. I don't know why that's the rule. But so I went to him and I was like, I want an internship at a legitimate company. I want to be paid. I want to do all this stuff, and I want to start building my resume, and I know I can do it. And he was like, you're too young. Like, it's not going to happen. And so I just went out and did it by myself and like found the connections and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really tough, but paid off in the long run, because like I graduated with a resume that said NBC and CNN on it.
That's cool. So currently you're working at 552 Productions.
Yeah, 522 Productions.
522.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What do you do at 522?
So I'm an associate producer. So I like to think of it, a professional worrier. I worry about everything from pre-production, client relations. So like a client will come to us and ask, we need a video for X. We need a recruiting video. We need a TV spot. We need a short documentary done. I take their needs and their vision and translate it to our creative team, and then take it all the way from pre-production to post-production to ensuring that we deliver the right files to them and everything.
Yeah. Last question. What advice would you give to someone who wants to be in this industry?
I would say to never say no, to never doubt yourself. As like, I don't want to make it about this, but like as a woman, I've had so many people during interviews ask me if I can lift 50 pounds, and I had to prove to them that I could lift 50 pounds, which is like a really weird thing. So just never doubt yourself. Follow that passion that you have and never give up. I had to apply to over 100 jobs, and finally the very last one I was like, I don't know if I should apply, and then the very last one I applied to, I got it. So always, just stay strong and stay true to yourself.
Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you.
Well, that is the end of our show. Matt and I would like to thank Gabby, Amanda, and Val for coming in and speaking with us today. Please subscribe to the Wayne Hills TV YouTube channel to see more. This has been Veronica Gail saying thank you for tuning in to the Student Voice.
For more information on advertising on Wayne Hills TV, contact Mr. Hookstrait at jhookstrait@wayneschools.com.